The EPA released a report last year that should have been front-page news. It wasn't. The finding was this: PFAS chemicals, synthetic compounds linked to cancer, thyroid disease, and immune disruption, were detected in approximately 45% of American tap water samples tested. Not in rural wells, not in industrial runoff zones, in tap water. The water coming out of the faucet in your kitchen right now. And that was before the agency finished testing. The number is expected to climb as the testing program expands through 2026. At the same time, the American Society of Civil Engineers estimates that 6 to 10 million homes in the United States still receive water through lead service lines. Lines the EPA has known about for decades. Lines that leach lead at levels with no documented safe threshold for human exposure. And on the shelf of your local health food store, your pool supply outlet, your Indian grocery, or your international market, right now, is a white crystalline mineral that humans have been using to purify drinking water for over 4,000 years, costs $2, works in minutes, and has been quietly disappearing from American mainstream retail for the last 70 years. Not because it stopped working, because something far more profitable replaced it. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you exactly what this mineral is, how it works at the chemistry level, what ancient civilizations knew about water purification that your municipal water authority doesn't put in its consumer confidence report, and how to use a $2 crystal to treat water in a way that the $300 billion bottled water industry has spent decades making sure you never think to try. This is not folk medicine. This is documented chemistry, practiced continuously for 4,000 years. Before we get to the mineral, understand what is actually in your tap water right now. The EPA mandates testing and reporting for 90 specific contaminants. The Environmental Working Group's tap water database has identified over 320 contaminants detected in American water systems across the country. 320 detected. 90 regulated. The gap between those two numbers is where your exposure lives. PFAS compounds alone include thousands of individual chemical variants. The EPA now regulates 6 of them. The other several thousand exist in an unregulated space that municipal water treatment was not designed to address. Chlorination, the standard treatment in virtually every American municipal system, kills bacteria. It does not remove heavy metals. It does not remove PFAS. It does not remove agricultural runoff chemicals like atrazine, detected in water systems serving 30 million Americans, according to EWG data. And here is the detail that no water utility mails to its customers. Chlorine itself, when it reacts with naturally occurring organic matter in source water, produces byproducts called trihalomethanes. The EPA regulates these too. Because they are carcinogenic, you are being protected from bacteria by a chemical that creates carcinogenic byproducts. And the solution the industry sells you is a $300 under-sink filter system, a $45 monthly filter subscription, or $2 per bottle of water in single-use plastic that adds 50 billion units of waste to American landfills every year. There is a $2 mineral that ancient Egyptians, Romans, and Chinese water engineers all independently discovered and used for 40 centuries. And it has been sitting in the specialty aisle while the bottled water industry built a $300 billion annual revenue empire. The mineral is alum, potassium aluminum sulfate, a naturally occurring crystalline mineral that forms in volcanic rock and has been mined and used since at least 1500 BCE. The Ebers Papyrus, an Egyptian medical document dated to approximately 1550 BCE, documents alum's use in water treatment. Ancient Roman engineers used alum to treat water in aqueduct systems that served 1 million people. Traditional Chinese water treatment practices documented alum use dating back over 2,000 years. This was not coincidence. 4 civilizations on 4 continents independently discovered the same mineral worked. Because the chemistry is real, and the chemistry is this. When you drop a small crystal of potassium alum into turbid, contaminated water, it dissolves and releases aluminum and potassium ions into the water column. Those ions carry a positive electrical charge. Most suspended contaminants in water, sediment particles, bacteria, organic compounds, certain heavy metal complexes, carry a negative electrical charge. Opposite charges attract. The aluminum ions bind to the suspended contaminants, forming clusters called floc. Floc is heavier than water. Floc sinks. Within 20 to 30 minutes, everything that was suspended in the water column has been pulled to the bottom of the vessel. The water above it is clear. The contaminants are settled. This process is called coagulation and flocculation, and it is not folk chemistry. It is the exact same mechanism used by modern municipal water treatment plants. Every major city water treatment facility in America uses an aluminum-based coagulant as its first treatment stage. Aluminum sulfate, polyaluminum chloride, aluminum compounds. Doing what the Egyptian physicians documented 3,500 years ago, at industrial scale, across the country, every day. The same chemistry your city water utility uses to treat millions of gallons. Available to you in crystalline form for $2. Here is where the disappearance happens, and this is the part that deserves your full attention. Before municipal water treatment became standardized in the early 20th century, alum was a household product in America. It was sold in general stores. It was listed in household management books. Recipes, preservation guides, and home medical references from the 1800s mention alum routinely as a practical household mineral. It was as common as salt. Then two things happened simultaneously. Municipal chlorination became the national standard for urban water treatment in the 1910s and 1920s. And the industrial food and chemical industry discovered alum had commercial applications in baking powder, food preservation, and textile manufacturing. The household water purification use became redundant for city dwellers, and nobody had a financial interest in keeping the knowledge alive for the people who still needed it. Because there is no margin in a $2 mineral that lasts a year. There is an enormous margin in a $300 filter system with a proprietary replacement cartridge sold on a monthly subscription. There is a spectacular margin in $2 bottles of water filled from municipal sources and sold with photographs of mountain springs. A 2018 investigation by researchers at the State University of New York tested 259 bottles of water from 11 major brands. 93% contained microplastic particles. The mountain spring on the label contains microplastics. The $2 mineral that has been purifying water since the Bronze Age is not discussed on the label. Here is exactly how to use it, and the precision that matters for both effectiveness and safety. You are looking for food-grade potassium alum, not industrial alum, not aluminum sulfate in bulk agricultural form. Food-grade potassium alum. It is sold under that name in Indian grocery stores, Middle Eastern markets, international food stores, and health food retailers. It is also sold as a natural deodorant crystal, which is the same compound. A block or bag of food-grade potassium alum costs $2 to $4 and lasts months of regular use. For water treatment, the rate is approximately 1 gram per 10 liters of water. That is a tiny amount. A single crystal the size of a large pea per standard bucket. Drop the crystal into the water and stir briefly to begin dissolving. Allow 20 to 30 minutes for flocculation to complete. You will see the water clarify visibly as the floc forms and settles. Carefully pour or ladle the clear upper portion into a clean container. Leave the settled floc at the bottom. Do not disturb it. What you have in the clean container is clarified water with dramatically reduced turbidity, bacterial content, and suspended contamination. For drinking water, treat clarified alum water the same way you would treat any field-purified water. Follow with boiling for pathogen elimination. Or add 1 drop of plain, unscented household bleach per liter and wait 30 minutes. The alum does the mechanical work. The secondary treatment ensures biological safety. Used together, you have a 2-step purification protocol that matches the first 2 stages of municipal water treatment. For free, at home, with a $2 crystal and materials you already own. Here is the full picture. Because this channel does not sell you half the information and leave the limitations for someone else to explain. Alum is highly effective for turbidity removal, bacterial reduction through floc capture, and clarification of contaminated surface water and compromised tap water. It is not a complete solution for dissolved chemical contamination. PFAS compounds are not fully addressed by alum coagulation alone. For PFAS specifically, activated carbon filtration, a separate and also inexpensive step, is documented as effective. A basic activated carbon pitcher filter, changed every 2 months, combined with alum pre-treatment, creates a multi-layer system that addresses the full range of common tap water concerns. Total cost for both, under $30 to set up, under $10 per month to maintain. Also, alum clarification produces aluminum-containing floc at the bottom of the vessel. Discard this settled material. Do not consume it. The aluminum content in properly treated clear water above the floc is within safe parameters documented by the World Health Organization. The WHO lists aluminum in drinking water as acceptable at concentrations up to 0.2 milligrams per liter. Alum-treated water, properly settled and decanted, falls within this threshold. The same threshold your municipal water utility operates within using aluminum-based coagulation every day. And finally, food grade only. Industrial grades of alum and aluminum sulfate contain impurities not appropriate for water you will drink. Food grade. Read the label. This precaution takes 5 seconds and matters. Here is what sits with me every time I return to this. The same mineral documented in Egyptian medical papyri in 1550 BCE, used by Roman engineers to serve 1 million citizens, practiced continuously across 4 continents for 40 centuries, is the first stage of treatment in every major American municipal water system operating today. The chemistry has not changed. The mineral has not changed. The 45% of American tap water testing positive for PFAS has changed. The 10 million lead service lines still active have not changed fast enough. The 320 detected contaminants versus 90 regulated ones have not changed. And the $300 billion bottled water industry that filled the space where a $2 mineral used to stand in American households has not changed. The EWG's tap water database is updated regularly. You can enter your zip code and see exactly what has been detected in your local water system, what's been detected, what's regulated, and the gap between them that nobody mailed you a letter about. The information is public. It has always been public. The $2 solution has been on a specialty shelf this whole time, sitting quietly while the industry that replaced it generated $300 billion a year from people who didn't know the shelf existed. I don't know your situation or why you're watching this today. Maybe you got your annual water quality report in the mail this month and read something in the fine print that sent you searching. Maybe you live somewhere the water has never looked quite right coming out of the tap, and you have been buying bottled water for years without thinking about the math. Maybe you're just someone who finds it worth knowing that 4 ancient civilizations, the United States municipal water treatment system, and a $2 crystal in an Indian grocery store are all using the exact same chemistry. And the only thing that changed in the last 70 years is whether you knew about it. Whatever brought you here, the answer is the same. Food-grade potassium alum, 1 gram per 10 liters, 20 minutes, decant and treat. 4,000 years of documented use. The first stage of every modern municipal water treatment plant, available for $2. while the bottled water industry sells you the same tap water in plastic for 10,000 times the price. The knowledge never left. It was just waiting for someone to go looking. Now you've found it, and you won't forget it. Take care, and I'll see you in the next.